Welcome to Let's Play Gran Turismo 5, Part 16. Today we're going to be doing the S license, and as per usual, I'm just going to go and show you what all we did in the I license. I got about half of them gold, half of them silver. Also, apologies if you hear any noises. We're having one of our bathrooms redone. Anyways, so as is tradition with the S license, they're all one-lap trials, but these are all races, so you're actually passing cars, which makes this probably the easiest license in the entire game. I am not one part of me is kidding when I say that. It's easier than the B license. So we're going to start here at Monza. I did leave a little bit of traction control on, just because this was a mid-engine rear-wheel drive car, so might end up spinning out. This race only took me a couple tries. Well, I got one completed run. In fact, most of the attempts that you're about to see were my first completed run, and some of these I actually managed to get gold on my first try. So we're going to be starting here. As per usual, we have these really long load times, because, it's just GT5 for you. Yes, this was my first completed run. And honestly, this test wasn't too bad. So, kind of breaking there, and since it's Monza, you can do that. I'm such a dirty driver. Oh my god. But you will see this later on. I will do that again at a different track. The spiker, just rubbing up all behind the spiker. And when I say that, I don't mean later on in this race, although I did do it again right about here. Yeah, right there I did it. So now we only have these 4 more cars left. We're going to go through Lesmo and slide this thing around. I'll say I don't know if this is interesting or anything, but I think the 430 Scuderia is actually probably like my childhood GT car, because I remember I absolutely loved this thing. So we only have these next few cars to pass. I can get, so just past that, I'm not sure if that was a BTR or a CTR, but whatever it was, I passed it. XJ220, and now we just have to get around this, what are those cars up here? And there I go, I did more corner cutting because I'm a dirty driver and I'm able to do literally anything to get gold, apparently. Just gotta get through this last double apex, hairpin, whatever. Around the GTR, give them a little bumper tap as well. And I'm pretty sure the finish line on this track in GT7 is much farther back than the finish line is in GT5. Yeah, because the finish line's there. I'm pretty sure the finish line in GT7 is way back. But we got the gold on that test. And during this run, I decided to see if I could get all gold on every license. And you'll see if I succeeded at that. Alright, so with that, we're now going to be moving on to S2, which is a one-lap race at Trial Mountain. We're going to be driving the Maserati Gran Turismo, and I think I turned traction control off on this one. I don't remember. It's been a couple days since I actually recorded this. Okay, I didn't. Never mind. I probably could have turned traction control on this, or traction control off on this. Actually, oh, did I go back and turn it off? Oh, okay. I went back and turned it off. Never mind. I just have to wait for everything to load, because, yeah, that's just GT5 something, I don't know. There we go. So this one actually gave me a bit more trouble than S1 did. The problem was really the lead car, which is pretty fast. In fact, I think even in this run, I only managed to just get past it. Oh yeah, it's just casually an R390 road car right there. Nothing insane or anything. Get through and try them. slide around that corner. Oh my god. Yep, do some more dirty corner cutting because that's just me for you, I guess. We only have a couple more cars to pass. Do a little bit of late braking there, cut inside, which I'm pretty sure is exactly what I did for the IC2 license test. Get around the C5 Corvette. There were a lot of C5 Corvettes in this race for some reason. Not sure what that was about. Alright, now I just have to catch up to this lead car, and this was the part that really gave me a lot of trouble. I got a couple of completed runs on this one, and all of them were silvers because I just could not get past this Zonda. Yeah, I was trying to see if I could pass on the outside there, so then I cut back, went inside there, nearly ramped myself off that, and there we go. Finally got the golden. That one took me about, I don't actually know how long it took me, but it took me several tries to do this one. Alright, now we're going to be moving on to S3, which is applied to overtaking at the Nürburgring, the GP circuit, not the Nordschleife, thank God. We're going to be driving the Mercedes SLS AMG. Also the cover car this game. Okay, I left a little bit of traction control on. Not really sure why. I feel like I probably could have done this test without it, but whatever. This test also gave me a couple. This test I also had to do a couple tries of this one because I kept like hitting cars, and at one point I spun out and just restarted the entire race. One of the AI cars actually ran me off the road at one point, and I was less than thrilled about that. I'll just say that much. Here we go. Oh, there's another C5 Corvette. Right there. I don't know how I didn't get disqualified there. That's a freaking miracle. Got really deep inside there. No idea how I did this disqualified earlier. Here's the part. This LFA ended up running me off the track, and I was tilted about that, dude. I have a couple more cars. You can also go pretty wide there, and it won't bail you, which is interesting, I guess. I forgot I even did that. It's obvious that it's been like several days since I recorded this. Like I recorded this on the 7th, and I'm doing the voiceover for this. I'm recording this on the 11th, so, and obviously I have no idea when I'm going to post this. So let's just carry on. These lead two cars up here are actually kind of fast. It's a Ford GT, and then it's I believe that's a Cizeta V16T. Yes, it is. I have no idea why I braked so much there. I probably could have done that. Not have braked like that. I don't know why I did that. I guess I was just trying to just rather be safe than sorry, I guess. Give a bumper tap, as expected from me at this point. And now we're in first. We just need to hold on to our lead for the rest of the race. Also, I just now noticed the headlights on this car are on. Not sure why. I think they're always on at the both the Nürburgring, at the GP circuit and the Nordschleife. But not entirely sure what's up with that. But oh yeah, and there was stuff going on back there, and I did that. I looked back to see it, but it didn't look like there was actually anything going on. So. Alright, that's the third S-License Golden. That one wasn't too terrible. I mean, it certainly could have been a lot better, but it was fine, I guess. Alright, now we're going to be moving on to S4, which is a one-lap race at the Tokyo Route 246. And I'm just going to go and get this out of the way. This was the test that probably gave me the most trouble. I'm not going to lie with you. Driving this car at this track, which is so... where there's like very little margin for error, was a pain. It is only an 8-car race, though. But I guess they made up for it by it being, you know, super annoying to actually do. Yeah, this one took me... I want to say this one took me at least 15 minutes to do. There was one of the takes I had for this. I was getting ready to approach the end, and it was that like very last like little... It's not really a chicane, but I don't really know what else I could call it. And I hit the wall, and it failed me. And I was pretty mad. I was not a happy camper. That's something I don't think I've said in a very long time, if ever. Anyway. So, everything you're going up against here is a bunch of classic race cars. So there's that Chaparral 2D, I think that is. Yeah, I think it's 2D. It's definitely not a 2J. God knows if that car was in this race. That race just would not be doable, I guess. Only 3 cars left. I also ended up bumping into one of those walls a lot with the side of the car, and that would also fail me. But yeah, this test was not very fun. There's a part where I spun out when I did the Cloaking Cup and a Honda Civic covered me. So, braking there, bump into that Ford Mark IV, I think that is. And that Jaguar XJ13 is just going to bump into me. That's really not... That's great sportsmanship, is it not? I say that as if I haven't literally been cutting nearly every corner possible to get into the lead. But yeah, no corner cutting here. That's just not going to happen. Oh, there you go, bump into him again. And then just basically floor it. It was right around here where I got that one take that yeah, right there. I think I even let off the gas a little bit there. And luckily, I got the gold on this. And I think it was at this point I realized, wait a minute, I think I can actually get all gold on all these. Because a lot of these tests in my main profile, I don't have golded, but this is definitely one of them. Alright, so now that that nightmare is over, we're going to be moving on to S5, which is a one-lap race at Laguna Seca. And this race was pretty easy. You're in the Chevy Camaro. This one did take me a few tries, I think, because again, like it was in S3, one of the AI cars ended up running me off the track at the corkscrew. And then there's also these cones at the very beginning, running along pit lane, that if you hit them, it's a fail, and I didn't realize that. So I ended up taking them pretty wide and bumped into one and failed on. That was literally like my first attempt, I think. This one took me less than 5 tries to get though. It's a 12-car race this time. Luckily, it's nowhere near as painful as S4 is. Though honestly, even calling S4 painful is huge. It's not as bad as obviously some of these earlier licenses, because obviously it's just passing cars. That's much easier than, you know, setting fast times. But okay, big slide there. Which that's really not that big of a slide. I don't know why I over-exaggerated there. All right, so crashed my way into 4th place as per usual. Go down, trying to get this. I want to say that's up on the Superbird. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a Superbird. Now we're approaching the corkscrew, and this was the part that this Dodge Challenger up here, not the one in first place, the one right in front of me, ended up running me off the track. Yeah, again, I was not particularly happy about that. Oh, and I just bumped into him there. That was a pretty hard crash. I'm not sure why I didn't get failed there, but I mean, I'm not going to complain. You know, I wonder what that little road over there is. I probably could look at this map from an aerial view. I'm pretty sure I said that when I was doing a race in what's going to be a future part, but that's a part I've already recorded by the time I'm recording these. Oh my, oh, I forgot I did that. Yeah, I felt my life flash before my eyes right there. Luckily though, managed to recover just in time to not lose any positions, and we get the gold. Yeah, we are now halfway done with the S license, and so far, all of them are gold. In front of my car's scuffed up, apart from the wall I hit and the fact that I bumped in that Challenger. Alright, now we've made it to the halfway point. Well, actually, we're over halfway now. So now we're going to be moving on to S6, which is a one-lap race at the Madrid City Course, Circuito de Madrid, whatever you want to call it. I feel like I turned traction. Okay, I left a little bit of traction control on there, because I figured this one was going to be sliding around if I left it off. And even with it on, it was still sliding a little bit. And I'm pretty sure this was actually one of the only tests that the run you're about to see was actually my first drive, or my first run. Like not like my first run, my first gold run, my first completed run. I mean, this is literally my first run. What you're about to see here. Yeah, I'm looking at it in ClipChamp, and I don't see any cuts there, so this is my first run. And obviously, it's no best left there, but so they're on this Aston Martin. A lot of these opponents here are a bunch of classic cars, mostly classic muscle cars. Alright. Oh, too bad, now we're in 4th place. Still have a couple more cars to catch, obviously, but we have plenty of time to catch them. Sometimes when I drive this track, I always forget that you need to brake there. There's just a Gallardo, you know? It's a bunch of classic muscle cars, then there's just that Gallardo there. That's totally out of left field. Well, there was also the DB9 at the beginning, but whatever. The DB9 is more like, I feel like that's more of a sports car than like a straight supercar, so. Now we're approaching the roundabout. Right there. Actually, not a terrible line I took with this one. I mean, I did take that one pretty slow, but line's not bad. Did slow down quite a bit for the chicane there, and then it's just full throttle the rest of the way. There we go. That is our 6th license test gold. Or our 6th S license test gold, I should say. Yeah, that test was actually quite easy. I don't really remember that test being that easy. Oh hey, we're level 16 now. That's awesome. So, now that we finish this up, we're going to go to our 7th license test. And this test is going to be, again, it's a 1-lap race. It's going to be 1-lap race at the Top Gear test track, which is a circuit that's almost completely underutilized except for one special event that I'll be doing later. Like, I'm pretty sure it's only in one A-spec and B-spec event. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. I decided to turn traction control off for this one. I don't remember if I went back in and turned it back on later, but I don't think I did. It's been obviously several days since I last recorded these, as I mentioned earlier. Just gotta wait for everything to load. This game loves long loading times. We are too spoiled with loading times now with the PS5 and everything. You know, I feel like this would be a really fun game to remaster. I imagine remastering racing games with licensed cars is pretty difficult, and it's probably why some of my Forza Motorsport 4 has not been remastered, despite the fact that I'm pretty sure that's a game a lot of people really want to see remastered. Anyways, so this race did actually take me quite a few tries, but unlike S4, it didn't take me as long as S4, but it did take me quite a while. I was actually really patient with this because I actually really like this test. Like, I don't know, it's just something. I don't know, it's just something about this test that I really like. Maybe it's like it's a Top Gear test track, and a lot of these none of these other tests are except for the stop-start challenges, and it's just so underutilized in game. Like, there's only Gran Turismo game appeared in, and of course I can break in there. Did I? Absolutely not, because I'm I don't know, a bad driver or something. But like I said earlier, I will do literally anything to get a gold. This lead car up here is pretty fast. I don't remember what this is, but I think it was an M5. Oh yeah, he bumps on the cone because obviously the AI is not bound by the cone, um, cone penalty. Because if you hit a cone, that's an instant fail. Here, I don't remember what that corner was called. I know it has a name, but I forgot it. So go inside, run him off the track basically, and there we go. I actually only barely got gold on that one. That was way closer than I'd like to admit. Alright, now we're going to be moving on to S8. And this is a one-lap race at Suzuka Circuit. Obviously not the East course, because that would be first impossible, second way too short. Yeah, we're going to be driving this Alfa Romeo 8C. I really like the 8C, actually. Did I turn traction control on this one? Yes, I did. Okay, I think I was hesitating here at first. So, let's begin. Gotta wait for everything to load, of course, because the game takes forever to load. I will never stop complaining about that. It feels like every episode I do of this, I just complain about the loading times. But can you honestly blame me? I feel like this test I actually did this on my first try. Yeah, looks like I did. Yeah, because there's no cuts and flip champ anywhere. Hard brakes here. Right, around the first hairpin. Then we gotta go into the S's. We are in 8th place now, so I feel like I probably could have been driving better here. Yeah, I went too wide there. This Maserati's insistent on not letting me pass him. But I'm gonna get around you regardless because, yeah, I have a Let's Play to film. And I have a goal of getting all gold on the S license. Not all gold on the other license. That I'm just pretty sure it's just straight up not doable because, you know, IV3 exists. Alright, so we're now up to 5th. We're up to a bronze requirement, but do you think bronze is good enough for me? No. I gotta get at least silver. Preferably gold. So, now we're up to 3rd. We just have to pass these last two cars, a GTR, and I believe that was a Ferrari California up there. It's so weird that the California is... It's so weird to think that the California was considered a really fast car, but now I'm pretty sure it's just like... I mean, it is still fast, but I'm pretty sure an M4 now could outrun one. Alright, this GTR was pretty keen on not letting me pass him. Same way that Maserati was earlier, and these two cars up here are pretty fast. So I ended up... I don't think I cut the chicane up here, but... No, that was a different video I'm thinking of. One that I've already recorded but haven't posted yet. Nope, I had to brake a little bit in the 130. I probably could have gone full throttle around the 130R, but I didn't want to risk it. Laid on the brakes there, bumped into the GTR, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, I think I slowed down a little too much there. Yeah, this is a pretty intense last little bit of this race. But luckily, we got the gold. And by this point, I basically knew I was going to get gold on all these because S9 and S10 I have golded on my main profile. So at this point, I just knew all gold was going to happen. Alright, S8's finished. Now we're going to move on to S9, which is a one-lap race at Circuit de la Sarthe. Yeah, so this is I think this one took the bulk of the video because this is, you know, it's obviously such a long track, and we're just gonna turn traction control off for this one because, yeah, LFA. And yeah, we get to enjoy the sound of the LFA. I'm such an LFA Glazer dude. Yeah, I love that car, but I have to admit, I do think it is a little overrated. Maybe that car's a million credits. What? $1 million now. I mean, it makes sense. Well, I'll just shut up. What do I know? I'm not a car marketer or anything. Alright, this is a 16 car race, which is... I mean, that makes sense because this is such a long track. I feel like there were... Oh my god, nothing that 430 Scuderia. I feel like there were... Yeah, I did corner cut a little there. Slide into the Dunlop corner. Holy crap. Got a break there. So I guess for the meantime, we just enjoy some LFA ASMR or something. God, can you believe this was a new car when this game came out? That car's 15 years old now. Unbelievable. Actually, now it's 2026. It's 16 years old now. Okay, so I took that too wide. Scraped the wall. I was trying my hardest to slipstream off this comic car, and then he just decided to give way and let me pass him. Not sure why, but do you think I'm gonna complain? Bump to that guy Ardo. Oh, I got an achievement. Or trophy. A speed demon. I don't remember what the requirement that. I know it, I want to say it's around 155 miles an hour. These two lead cars up here were fast. It was a Selena 7 and a Ford GT, I want to say it was. Yes, that's what it looks like. You know, I always tend to forget the Selena S7 exists. I probably shouldn't, but I always do. Just gotta get around this Ford GT. And here that's Selena coming out behind. I'm trying to think of the Selena 7 and the GT7. I don't think it is. You know, there's so many cars from the PS2 era games that I feel like should be in GT7, but are not. Like, that's one of them. The AutoZone AZ1 is an obvious one. I swear, I had this thought that the Volvo C30 was thinking. I don't know, I guess it was the Mandela effect or something. What else was there? I mean, the style on FRS would make sense to be out of the game. Well, I mean, it really would not make sense at all, now that I say that, because, you know, the 86 and the BRZ are both in the game. The version that's already in the PS2 era games was the 2012 version, or the 2013, whatever. And oh my god, that 4588 is something, dude. And as I was saying, I feel like the FRS could probably have been easily added. I mean, I can imagine the most you'd have to do to add that is just take the GT86 badges, make it left-hand drive, and then, or just pull off all the Toyota GT86 badges, put FRS and Scion badges on. But then again, it is the 2012 model, and the 2015 is already in game, so they'd have to remodel it. Honestly, I don't think it's ever going to come back. And, you know, Scion doesn't exist, so the whole, like, it'd be like this whole thing where licensing or something, it would probably just be too hard for me to bother bringing it back. What else could they add? I think about it. Ferrari California, I feel, yeah, you know, if you remember that old video I made, I spent probably a solid minute talking about how I thought the Suzuki VGT was the Ferrari California. Because, you know, oh my god, oh yeah, that was like S5. That like, my life flashed before my eyes right there. Honestly, the LFA is the car I'm actually surprised it took them as long as it did to bring it back. That feels like it should have been a day one car for GT7, probably even GT Sport. But no, we had to wait until November of 2023 for them to actually bring it back. Going on there, full throttle it. And there we go. There's only one test remaining. And the one test standing between all gold, that's license. Oh yeah, I forgot I did that cut there because I just took the thumbnail there. Anyways, now we're going to be moving on to our final S license. Not at the Nordschleife, which is probably a good thing. We're going to be doing a one-lap race at Special Stage Route 5. And this is obviously a night-only track. We didn't learn anything about night driving in this entire license. So, yeah. I guess they probably picked this because, you know, it's nighttime. I left traction control at 1. This test took me a handful of tries. I don't think I mentioned it. S9 took me a few tries too. But yeah, this test was not, like, painfully difficult. It was just... There was always that one part... There was one part I was just bumping into the wall. Which is obviously super annoying. I'm driving the MP412C. Which was also a new car in this game. Man, holy crap. Okay, I probably should have braked more than that. Oh, okay, that actually was kind of clean. Slide into there. I'm actually kind of proud of myself for that. I can imagine they probably did this for the final license test. Just as like a... Because, you know, obviously the long test was the previous test. So they probably just did this to say, like, here, have a simple test for your final test or something. I'm not really entirely sure. Only 3 cars now. There's a McLaren F1. Also, just casually, there's a Bugatti Veyron in this race. Not like it matters. It was basically nothing for me. And now we just have to catch up this lead car, which I want to say was the Enzo Ferrari. Yes, it is. And I think I mentioned this during the FF challenge, but I said something about how the longer circuit was better because there's like these trees that are lit up, and you can kind of see them up there. Dude, this circuit is so good. This would be an amazing track to bring back for GT8. I'm assuming we probably aren't going to be getting very many more content updates for GT7. Considering the fact we just had Spec 3, the game is getting older now. And we're just going to gun it the rest of the way. Yeah, this Autumn Ring and probably... I'm not sure what else I should bring back. I'll probably find something. And last test, we're basically at the end. So, yeah, we'll just slide across the line. Celebrate for ourselves. And there we go. S license all gold. Something I didn't do on any other license. Despite the fact that I tried my absolute hardest. And there we go. That is the all the license tests are done. It took me, 16 parts because this game's XP system is idiotic.
Congratulations, you have passed all of the license tests. Keep driving hard and continue to hone your driving skills.
Oh, you best believe we're going to be driving hard and honing our driving skills. Look at that, all gold. That's something I don't think I've actually ever done before. Get all gold in one of the licenses in GT5. Alright, now we get our prize cars. Normally we only get 2, but because we got all gold, we got 3. Oh, there's our license for... Or there's our... Not our license. Our trophy for completing the S license. Alright, let's get our prize cars. So, for getting all bronze on the S license, we're going to be getting this car, which is a Opera Performance Honda S2000. Which I might end up using later. Go. And for getting all silver, we are gonna get this Mazda MX Crossport concept, which I'm pretty sure just turned into the production CX-7, I think. Alright, there we go. And getting all gold, we get a premium car. We're gonna get this Nissan GTR Spec V GT Academy version, which I'm pretty sure you can only get by getting all gold in the S license. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the only way you can get it. I mean, there might have been some way before, but obviously GT Academy hasn't happened forever, so... I guess we won't really know. Alright, time to go check out our prize cars. Here's our Opera Performance S2000. Honestly, I really like the S2000. I wish I'd bring it back. I feel like that should be a car they should 100% bring back. Not in Gran Turismo, because it's obviously already in Gran Turismo, but or GT7. But yep. And now we have our Mazda MX Crossport concept. Not entirely sure why I decided to add this game, but what do I know? I'm not a developer. I don't work at Polyphony Digital. Anyways, after getting all gold, which is something we haven't done before, we're gonna get our Nissan GTR Spec V GT Academy version. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyways, that's gonna conclude this segment of GT5. In our next segment, we're gonna be doing. I don't remember what we were doing. So, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!